Hello there. Welcome to the second edition or the second episode of my Star Wars show here on YouTube, where we talk about everything Star Wars related. And today I want to talk about Disney Plus. And what is Disney? This is Disney Plus, by the way, on my iPad. As you may have heard, Disney Plus has been available for a number of weeks now here in the Netherlands. We're kind of the pilot country. Of course, the Netherlands is kind of like the Tatooine of the world. So they pre-launched Disney Plus here. And so this is what I've been enjoying on all my devices. It works on my mobile phone, on the iPad, which makes actually for quite comfortable viewing, and of course on my TV, on my PC. And I think they even struck a deal now with Amazon to bring Disney Plus to the Fire devices, which is, I think, very good news for all the people that browse media on those devices. What I want to do today is to share with you what you can expect in a couple of days from now, on November the 12th, when Disney Plus is going to launch in some parts of the world. We also have good news for the people in the UK. You will have Disney Plus starting January 30th. So not much time for you to wait. There is actually a ton of stuff on Disney Plus when it comes to Star Wars. There are also some very notable omissions, and I want to talk about that as well in this show. So stay tuned, and let me go through the menu right here. So if you open the app, you will see, of course, first of all the movies. And that goes from The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, The Revenge of the Sith, and then here they have it in, I guess, in chronological order. You've got Solo, you've got Rogue One, and then A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. What makes a lot of people a bit irritated is that they have removed the Fox fanfare from all these movies. So, for instance, if you launch, I don't know, let's say Attack of the Clones, let me just, it's in resume because I'm watching it right now. So let me just go back to the beginning here. Hold on and scroll all the way to the start. You get this very weird, and the music doesn't work at all. They made a terrible cut there in the music. It's grating on the eyes and of course on the ears. Of course, we all want to hear the Fox fanfare. Well, I've got good news for those of you that are very nostalgic. There's one movie that still has the original fanfare, and it may have to do with the licensing or the distribution rights. I'm not sure about that, but look at this. A New Hope. Click that one, and that too. I should have rewound everything. It's like the old VHS tapes where you have to rewind before you bring it back to the, let's see if I can turn it around. Can I turn it around? No. Wait, hold on. My iPad is sometimes unable to, there we go. So I click on this, and here we go. Sorry for all the fingerprints. Go. There you go. You hear that? That really warms my heart. It's so much better than that awful new introduction that they made. Let them at least compose something specifically for these openings instead of, butchering John Williams his score for that. I'm going to clean my iPad in the meantime. So that's when it comes to the original 6 movies. Now, of course, we all want to see also the more recent movies in order to get ready for Episode 9. And you can, because The Force Awakens is there, and that is maybe a difference with the United States when the service launches there in a couple of days. We are able here in the Netherlands to watch, The Last Jedi. Maybe it wasn't such a good idea. We have The Last Jedi here available. And from what I've heard, this is not going to be the case in the United States because The Last Jedi is currently on some other streaming platforms, so they have to wait until those deals expire. What makes The Last Jedi here on Disney Plus so amazing, let me just launch it here for a while. It's probably in the middle of a movie. So what makes it so cool is that this movie is available in 4K. So all the newer movies are available in 4K. Solo is available in 4K. I think Rogue One as well, but I'm not sure. I didn't check. And it looks absolutely glorious in 4K. It's the image is better than what I saw in the movie theater. And of course, the sound is equally well, reproduced. It's got all the options, the Dolby Digital, the DTS, etc. And if you have, like, I don't know, a gazillion speakers, then it works with that as well. But I was very stunned by the overall visual quality of The Last Jedi. I think they use a pretty high bit rate. When I played it here on this iPad that is soon going to be very clean, those newer movies did show some hiccups. Now, that may be just because my iPad is very old. This is an iPad Air 1, so I'm not sure if that's going to be the case with everyone. But I'm mostly, of course, watching Star Wars on the big screen on my TV in 4K, and oh my goodness, it is such a great experience. So that is something to look forward to as well. Don't underestimate how much that contributes to the overall, experience of Star Wars. Now, that's when it comes to the movies. The next thing I want to show you is, and this menu is kind of all over the place. It's got these lineups with everything. One of the things I'm currently watching is the Clone Wars. I've only seen the first 1.5 seasons back then when I still had to buy them on Blu-ray because they were never on TV here in the Netherlands. But the Clone Wars are available. All the seasons are available. Just Blu-ray quality, so it's HD, but it's of course digital, so it's completely flawless. And what I'm currently doing is I'm watching the Clone Wars in chronological order. For some reason, George Lucas in the first few seasons decided to tell the story kind of out of chronological order, which made actually the whole experience for me very confusing, because the movie is not the first event in the timeline. The movie that's also, by the way, available on Disney Plus, of course. There are actually 2 episodes that chronologically take place before the theatrical release, and then the events in the theatrical release continue even in season 2. So totally, really confusing. So what I did is I downloaded a list. You can find that on StarWars.com, where they show you all the episodes in chronological order. Because they're all here, I can just watch them like that, and it has completely transformed my experience of the Clone Wars series. I was really put off by the first season at first. Also, the first season is not the best. There are some really terrible episodes in there. There are a few episodes that you need to watch because of the continuity and because it establishes some of the characters, the clones, and a relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin. But there are also a lot of episodes that I couldn't care less for. So this one immediately fast forwards you to the second season, which is already a lot better, also in animation. And then I think from like the 3rd, 4th season, then almost everything is in chronological order, and the quality gets better and better. But yeah, so enjoying Clone Wars. I'm not sure if the next season that they promised for that will continue the story of the Clone Wars will be available at launch. I don't think so. I think they're rolling things out slowly. Then, of course, you've got Star Wars Rebels, which is a series that I've watched for 2 seasons, and it is fantastic. It's definitely, in terms of animation and kind of the visual style, it's even better than the Clone Wars. Plus, it has that A New Hope vibe, which there are a lot of references, visual references to the original trilogy, which is very enjoyable. And also a series that I haven't completely finished yet, so that's still there to enjoy. Then there are these kind of lesser interesting series. This is the Lego stuff. So it's called The Freemaker Adventures. Never watched it. Don't know if I care, but hey, it's, I guess for kids, Lego, Star Wars, why not? And then, of course, you got the most recent installment when it comes to animation. That's there. Star Wars Resistance. All the seasons that have been released so far are there. I'm not sure if there's another season coming, but that's quite all right. And then you've got Star Wars All-Stars. That too is Lego based. Yeah, I mean, for the Lego game, I enjoy those animations. For, you know, stories, for a series, it's not so good. It's like with Marvel, they do the same thing. You've got Droid Tales. That too is Lego based. Actually, these are funny. These are quite big because there's the interaction between 3PO and R2-D2. I think most of the time 3PO is still voiced by Anthony Daniels. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got Star Wars shorts. There's also some Lego in there. I'll just briefly name it without showing everything. The Resistance Rises, so that's kind of based on the current movies. Again, more short versions of the Freemaker Adventures. Star Wars Rebels shorts. You've got Forces of Destiny. I think that's like a very different animated style. Let me just play one of these, because I think this is more hand-drawn style. And there we go.
The choices we make, the actions we take. Moments, both big and small.
Okay, well, it looks okay. Let me fast forward here. See what kind of style. Oh, yeah. You see, this is more of the animation style from the animated Clone Wars. So not the CGI Clone Wars, or the, what do you call it, like computer-generated 3D Clone Wars, but the Clone Wars that came before that. Which, by the way, I haven't seen yet. Maybe it's there, but I don't think it is. So it's actually quite nice to see a different animated style here. And then we've got some shorts from Star Wars All-Stars. Then we've got Star Wars Specials. It's got the Clone Wars movie. Why that is not in the other Clone Wars lineup, don't ask. I don't know. You've got more Lego, the new Yoda Chronicles, various episodes there. And then all of a sudden, in these specials, of course, the holiday special, not there. I so wish that they would bring it back, just for history's sake, you know. And it's got all the original actors, so it needs to be there. Disney, make it happen. Bring it back. But what we do get is something that I can highly recommend. It is a documentary called Empire of Dreams, the story of the Star Wars trilogy. This is the story about the original 3 movies. It has a lot of material that I, as a dinosaur Star Wars fan, have already seen in many different places, but they bring it together in this one documentary, which is super well produced. And if you're a little bit younger than I am, there's probably going to be a ton of things to discover there. So highly recommended, Empire of Dreams. Maybe one of the best offerings, Star Wars-wise, after the movies. And then you've got some more, the Darth Vader collection. It's just basically a rehash of all the stuff, but then with one character. That's about all I've been able to find here. So let's talk about what's missing here. Well, as I mentioned, the original Clone Wars that started it all, which actually, you know, in terms of animation may not be as attractive as the newer Clone Wars, but story-wise, it's really, really good. Maybe definitely better than the first few seasons of the, let's say, the CGI animated Clone Wars. So hopefully that will be on here as well. And now, the real thing that I think needs to be on here, and it needs to be there soon, the Ewok movies. Where are the Ewok movies? I was one of the lucky people that actually saw the Ewok movie in theaters. Now, you may say that's impossible because those were released directly to VHS and to television. But actually in the Netherlands, at least the first movie was released in cinema, in theaters. And I asked my brother, who has a fantastic memory, and he said, I remember that you went to see it on your birthday with some friends. So, and I do have vivid memories of seeing that movie and being a little bit disappointed because it wasn't, of course, on the level of the Star Wars movies, but it features the Ewoks, same costumes. It's got a story more geared towards children, but it is, I mean, it used to be part of the canon. I'm not sure if it still is, but I definitely would like to see that. What you can't find on here yet is The Mandalorian, of course, because that will launch when the worldwide release is there. So The Mandalorian, we'll have to wait for that. Obi-Wan, of course, is coming to this much later. And then you've got the Rogue One prequel that will also be on here. I don't think I've seen anything else. I can't come up with anything else that is missing. I'm sure there are lots of documentaries that have been made in the past that they may add to this if they can have the rights. I was also a little bit surprised about the news that The Last Jedi wouldn't be on the global release. We have it here, but I can still hope that they will soon, release the rights for Disney to show that, because of course, if you've seen Episode 9 in theaters in what is it, 5 weeks from now, 5 or 6 weeks from now, then you want to go back and rewatch Last Jedi, because I'm pretty sure that the 9th movie will help you, I don't know, at least rewatch the Last Jedi and see what it does. Maybe the 9th movie gives more depth to the events that we saw in The Last Jedi. I'm pretty sure, actually, that it will. Also, Disney Plus, of course, is going to be the #1 destination for Star Wars fans in the years to come. I just read an article that it's been, and we already knew that, but it has been confirmed that after Episode 9, Star Wars will go on hiatus for several years. So they're literally talking about several years. And in the meantime, we'll be very creative and continue to build, but that's all they're talking about Disney Plus. But for movies, and especially I think it has to do with the thing that we discussed last week, the departure of the two showrunners for Game of Thrones. So those movies were scheduled for 2022, if I'm not mistaken, and then subsequent years, or maybe the next 6 years. Maybe now they have to move something else in that time slot. Maybe we'll first get the Feige Star Wars movie, or maybe they will scale that up. And then Rian Johnson is still working on his trilogy. Maybe that will be also put in place. What I gather from that article is, or from that news, is that none of the other projects were ready to go into pre-production or or like full production. And if you want to release a Star Wars movie in 2022, you need to start next year. And the fact that they're now talking about several years, that sounds like 3 or 4 years even. It makes me sad, because Star Wars belongs in movie theaters, but I think it is probably the only thing they can do right now. And it has a big upside for Disney, and that is it will bring every Star Wars fan to Disney Plus, because once the excitement about Episode 9 dies down, where are you going to get your Star Wars fix? It's going to be on Disney Plus. So they need Disney Plus to keep us happy, and then probably the Star Wars fans will make Disney very happy, because they will all subscribe to Disney Plus, because no movies. I still wish they would, give us something in 2022. I'm not sure if TV is enough to keep Star Wars alive for all of us. There is something about a theatrical release in terms of PR, in terms of, getting everyone excited for Star Wars again. And not to mention just the fans, the 501st, the people like to dress up, the kids. You need like these big theatrical releases, and I really hope they're not going to wait 4 years for another movie to hit the theaters. Let me know what you think. Are you afraid that Star Wars going TV only will damage the franchise? What do you expect Disney to do in the near future? What do you still miss on Disney Plus that you absolutely want to get on the platform? Let me know in the comments. I'll be back next week with another episode of Father Roderick Talks Star Wars. And then, of course, November 12th will be behind me, so there will be lots of things to talk about. And of course, the main thing that I want to do in the next couple of episodes is to discuss every Mandalorian episode and do like reviews and discussions. So stay tuned. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let me know your comments in the comment section below. And of course, you're always welcome to join me for these live streams as well. So thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.